Good morning, y'all. I'm the 21, also known as Aaron Matt, also known as the lonely palm tree. This morning, I'm doing something different than my regular content. If you guys didn't know, I basically grew up on Tumblr. I was there before even DashCon happened, when Super Hulock and Merlin and Homestuck ruled every blog, when saying things like, "I like your shoelaces" didn't cause a visceral reaction in me. Because of this, about half of my memories are just things happening on Tumblr that I simply can't and probably won't ever forget. So, when I came across this image of a Tumblr iceberg, I was immediately on board. That's what I'm here to do this time, explaining the Tumblr iceberg. Just as a quick disclaimer, I didn't create this. I believe that Tumblr user Minecraft Jukebox created this, so all credit goes to them. There's a link to the post and their blog in the description. And very quickly before everything, I want to explain what an iceberg post is. Basically, this is a diagram that's meant to represent the level of obscurity something in a fandom has. The closer it is to the top, the more people know about it. So I'll just go through every single level and explain everything as best as I can. Now that that's out of the way, here is the Tumblr iceberg explained. Firstly, dash colors. I believe this is referring to the update made by Tumblr staff shortly after the porn ban, where they allegedly made things more quote-unquote accessible by changing the look of the dashboard. A lot of users expressed disdain towards this, and many said that the color even gave them headaches. Okay, I'm here editing after the voiceover originally was made, and I forgot to mention that Tumblr staff have added a way to turn on the original blue and also have added many other colors that you can change to on your dashboard, both on mobile and on your laptop, so that could also be the thing this is referring to. Moving on, we have DashCon, probably the most recognized incident from early Tumblr. DashCon was supposed to be a convention made in 2014 that was supposed to be every Tumblr kid's dream, while in reality it became the biggest shift on the way people treated the website, and it went down in Tumblr history as the craziest and probably dumbest event ever. Notable memes from this include the ball pit, which someone allegedly peed on, and the climax of the first day where the organizers of the event asked the attendants for money after mishandling the finances and not being able to pay the venue. There's a video by Sarah Said that summarizes DashCon perfectly. Check it out if you have time. Now for the breakfast meme. This was a popular format for posts back in the day that I think was started by user Chris Pratt's GF as a witty way of poking fun at bad first dates. In this meme, people would begin by describing a first date, then the other person would say something edgy or uncomfortable, causing the narrator to throw breadsticks into their bag and leave. Super Hulock, which is one of the most well-known Tumblr fandoms, was an amalgamation of Supernatural, Doctor Who, and Sherlock, which were widely considered the biggest part of Tumblr. After a while, the Super Hulock fandom seemed to dissipate, at least until November 5th. Also related to Super Hulock was the Mish Apocalypse, which occurred on April Fool's Day 2013. It was an event where the large majority of Tumblr users started spamming a photo of Supernatural cast member Misha Collins. Users also changed their profile pics to this photo and generally annoyed everyone who didn't like the show. The scam trifecta describes 3 different popular scams that ran around on Tumblr. Without getting too specific, All or Nothing was supposed to be a web series about 2 roommates, one of them being asexual while the other one being pansexual, going on wacky adventures. The Ark Project was a 3D RPG meant for people of color and queer people, and Miss Officer and Mr. Truffles was supposed to be a cartoon based on a viral Tumblr image that depicted a police officer and a bear. All 3 of these things were scams built on lazy concepts that obviously didn't go anywhere. The hat post refers to a popular set of images by user Lucky Dreaming, where they found a fedora and put it on, immediately turning into a stereotypical nice guy. It began to trend among fandoms, but it's not widely remembered. Fake Tumblr stories are self-explanatory. In the older times of the internet, it was a very popular to post outrageous stories and people would just believe them. Down with Cis is a popular meme and a fake story about a cis guy and his friends getting beat up by a group of trans individuals who went around in a bus with "Down with Cis" on their t-shirts. People began making mocking posts about it and set it as an example of the absurdity non-marginalized people could go to in an attempt to make themselves victimized. The chocolate bird refers to a set of pictures of a bird drinking from a chocolate fountain that were spread a lot by Tumblr users, most notably Tyler Oakley. Some began critiquing these set of images, claiming that laughing at it was mocking animal abuse, and that it shouldn't be used for comedic effect. Until another user pointed out that the images were taken from the Adam Sandler movie Jack and Jill, and that it was all done in CGI. Post limit refers to the fact that you can't reblog or make any posts on Tumblr after hitting the 250 mark. Getting through some of these quicker, dashboard breaking posts probably is talking about the Tumblr app and, the times it basically made Tumblr unusable, but it could also be talking about just posts in general that did not look well on the dashboard and basically broke it. $49 themes is about the premium themes on Tumblr that you can buy, some of them being even $49 worth. The John Green copypasta was an incident when people could edit reblogs, and one person edited a post of John Green, yes, that John Green, to a large text where he described some not family-friendly things. It just started being copied around and pasted everywhere, and people say that this was the reason Tumblr took out the feature, but that was completely unrelated. Lastly, the Morios guy is Tumblr user Perchu, who is known for his unreasonably angry rants when another person, SHSL Valkyrie, posted a picture of a tray with Morios, a complete hoax. After that, whenever any post involved Oreos, people would often say, "Don't let the Morios guys see this." The Bone Stealing Witch refers to when user Bone Gassy accused another user of stealing bones from cemeteries in Louisiana. People claimed it was real and investigated a witch group on Facebook, but everyone was mostly mocking the absurdity of the situation. There's a video about an Eldina doublecast that actually speaks about this, so go watch it if you want more insight. The next one's a little complicated. The Skeleton War. I think this refers to a popular meme started by Twitter user Thrill when they tweeted, "If your grave doesn't say rest in peace on it, you are automatically drafted into the Skeleton War." Then almost a year later, Tumblr user Technicolor Tendencies posted this artwork and tagged it, "Let the Skeleton Wars begin," which prompted people to make it into a bigger meme, and basically even BuzzFeed's blog started going on about it. It was October. Spoopy things happen in October. Crappy things happen in October. There's more to the segment, but the information's pretty easily accessible, so if you're really interested, I suggest looking it into by yourself. Tumblr user Pizza gained popularity by reblogging and responding to any post mentioning pizza. They quickly gained a notoriety and a cult following within Tumblr. After a while, I think the hype around them died or something. I also read that they allegedly had a past of racism amongst other bigoted beliefs, so after a while their Tumblr blog was deactivated and not much is known. Okay, I'm popping in here again. I researched into it a little bit more after I finished with this, and I found out that they actually got deactivated because they promoted a weight loss pill that was a scam. So Tumblr funny men is a term that refers to anti-SJWs who have quote-unquote taken their views to the extreme and are basically reduced to a caricature of a meme guy. I have no idea how the term originated, and I honestly don't even remember using it. This one's gonna be a doozy, so I'm gonna try to get through it quickly. Tumblr user Sixpence gained a notoriety for posting bite-sized horror posts. She started getting a lot of criticism for stealing most of them from places like Reddit and even other Tumblr posts, but the more people looked into her content, the more disturbing it got. Not the post itself, just her actual life. People quickly realized that she actually spread a lot of ableist rhetoric that I won't get into, and eventually people even found out her family owned a slave, a child slave. There's more to this rabbit hole, but I'm going to stop myself right there before this discussion takes up the entire video. This is another Tumblr user that I vehemently want to avoid, the Cybersmith, also known as the human pet guy. The Cybersmith gained infamy after posting a story where he described owning a human as a quote-unquote pet. He was really graphic about it. I'm not even going to show the post, but you can look it up. Just be warned that it's completely sickening and it's not at all okay. After that fiasco, people basically started bullying him with reason, and he deactivated his blog, then he brought it back. He was also harassing a lot of other users for, just being a bad guy. And also, he's a Trump supporter, so yeah. Getting the last of users over with, Biggest-Gaudiest-Patronuses is a popular Tumblr user who gained notoriety by actually being funny. They use that very popular style of comedy where the punchline is almost always chaotic and basically unwarranted, but they do it in a really good way, and they're honestly one of the few people that genuinely deserve their clout. Apart from that, they also speak a lot about being neurodivergent and also trans, so give them a follow if you got time. I believe they're included in this because of their drama that happened a while ago. I'm not going to get into it a lot because most of it was disproven, but it could also be the fact that they ate crayons. I'm not going to explain that. I'm just going to throw it out there. Fudgers refers to a popular post by user r-nilbreath where they claim to stay awake past their bedtime, and then they used the popular F exploitative. This was when you could edit reblogs, so someone censored their words by changing everything to meaners and fudgers. They responded angrily and people changed their response again, and it quickly became a Tumblr meme. The Intro Web series is a popular webcomic from 2012 created by now Tumblr user 8.but. It featured websites as characters and was a big hit on Tumblr. It ended almost 4 years ago at this point, the creator confirming its finale. I'm gonna group these two things together because they're both by the same person, technically. Firstly, the toe necklace. Summarizing it, user Royally mailed their toe to user Kami Eyelets so they could make it into a necklace. I'm not even kidding you, this is an actual story, you can look it up. They didn't sever it just so they could make it into an accessory though, the situation's more nuanced, but the description alone is absurd. And yet, a short while after that, the same user who received that toe, now under the name Kami Eyes, allegedly took the selfie with a real human skeleton they owned. Some people said it was real, some people said it was fake, some people said it was only done to cause a reaction, and some people were just amazed by how this paralleled the bone-stealing witch. Regardless, it happened. Finishing up, this amazing meme called rat refers to a dashboard breaking post where the word rat would start basically spreading through the screen. It caused hilarious screenshots, and it's honestly one of the few things in the world that cracks me up. I think this one's gonna be the longest one. Copy refers to a character created for April Fool's Day 2015. It appeared on users' dashboards saying random messages and was meant to parody Clippy, the mascot assistant from Microsoft Office. People made fan arts, fan blogs, and it was a sad moment when he was removed the day after. Rabiosexual refers to an iconic incident that transpired in 2018, where Tumblr user RabbitLoving began making bizarre claims that they were sexually and romantically attracted to people with rabies and the virus itself. This person, known under the name of Spencer, gained the cult's following until the blog was deactivated, first by Tumblr staff and then by himself on the backup one. More stuff happened regarding him, and I believe it turned out to be fake, but the impact it left on some Tumblr blogs is still real. I didn't look into it that much because I think I remember it well, but if you really want to know more about it, there's 2 good videos that Strange Eons, an amazing YouTuber, did, so if you want to check that out, go ahead. Opa Homeless Style was a viral Tumblr fake story posted on Reddit by user MechaMew2. It was widely known as the pinnacle of Tumblr fake stories until an investigation popularized by user Heritage Post found out that not only did the post never exist, but that it in fact was completely faked by that same Reddit user, who also made many other fake screenshots of Tumblr stories. Sarah Said published a really interesting video about this while I wrote the script, so I highly recommend you check it out. Editing other people's posts was an old feature that I've mentioned before, but it's also included in here. This allowed users to alter the text of others people's words through reblogs, making it easy to put words in other people's mouth. That led to really funny happenings, most notably the John Green copypasta, but regardless, it's not available anymore. Neil Cesarega, I think that's how it's pronounced, is included because of the many viral things he's created. I can bet most people have either seen or heard something from him eventually. He's a fairly good comedian and also the creator of Potter Puppet Pals, a censored count video, Lemon Demon, Ariel Has Legs, Brody Quest, Monster Breeder, Any Mutations, technically, Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny, and I know I mentioned Lemon Demon, but I want to emphasize that this man-made.
Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex.
And that was just a very condensed list of his creations. So whatever this is specifically talking about or why they put him in here, I have no doubt that it was really good. Pin a post $5 refers to a feature on Tumblr that consisted of pinning a certain post to the top of your blog, which back in the day was worth real money. This is now a free feature. The My Immortal author scam was an elaborate ruse made by Theresa Christodolopoulos, in which she claimed to be the author behind My Immortal, an infamous Harry Potter fanfiction posted by Tara Gilsby. Theresa claimed that she was actually Tara, and that she was going to release a new book detailing her life with her brother in the foster system or something. Her brother allegedly came forward on another website and revealed she was not in fact Tara Gilsby, and that they were never in the foster system, and that it was all a scam to sell her book. The Gay Bully comic was a Tumblr happening that started in 2014 when user DualShe posted this small comic with the caption, "Anyone please cast your crush out like this." People started asking for a continuation, so Cheese 3D made it. People wanted the story to continue further, so Daitoshi posted more of the story. The cycle was continued with different artists until a huge story was completed. It's simultaneously obscure and well remembered by early Tumblr users, as most of them know about it but rarely found it in their trash. Brandom refers to a fandom of Tumblr blogs that likes to roleplay and sometimes even ship brands. I will not elaborate on this because it's pretty self-explanatory and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. This one is one I had to drag myself to remember because I purposely tried to repress these 3 things. Firstly, woodys-roundup was a phenomenon that began spreading in 2017. Users snooping as usual I see, and mutuals began taking the deactivated URLs of many Nazi and TERF blogs, changing the avatars to a picture of Woody from Toy Story, and began spamming Tumblr roleplaying as Woody in an effort to make Tumblr Tumblr cracked down on hate speech in their platform. After a while, this became a meme where everyone would just start spamming as Woody when changing their avatars, causing the initial creator to shut down the whole operation. Next, skipping the middle one, KitKat Official was a blog that pretended to be an ambassador for the KitKat brand on Tumblr. The blog would regularly post and meme on everyone's stash, gaining 15k followers after only a month. After that though, it got deleted by the Tumblr staff for impersonation. Now, similar to the last one, Aquafresh was a blog impersonating the Aquafresh brand and going around posting pictures of Captain Aquafresh, the brand's mascot. Now here's where things start becoming really complicated and where all of these three things come together. On 2019, Aquafresh posted, "The only hashtag infinity stones you need in the gauntlet of hashtag sugar acid protection are healthy gums, strong teeth, and fresh breath. See you on the other side, Thanos." And after that, the account was banned for hateful speech. Shocked, people began mourning the loss of the blog and began investigating, coming to the conclusion that the post was banned by Marvel fans reporting spoilers in the notes of said post. This became a meme in and of itself, the hilarity of taking an account out for endgame spoilers being far too much for some people, but with time it was revealed what actually happened. The user behind Aquafresh was the same one behind KitKat Official, and not only that, he was also the one who started woodys-roundup. Known only as Josh, a college student in New York, came forward and said that his account got terminated not only because of impersonation, but also because of the fact he owned multiple Nazi URLs that he never deleted when woodys-roundup came to an end. I haven't seen many videos on this, so I wanted to make sure I covered as much of it as I could. Wayne Radio TV, I think, is a YouTuber who's behind many Tumblr memes or just memes in general, I'm not entirely sure. He also made Half-Life But the AI is Blank videos popular, which I have seen, but again, I'm not really entirely sure about this or why it was included. You should look into this yourself if you really want to know. HIV Living was a blog ran by college student Alex, in which she impersonated a bi-gender, bisexual, sex trafficking survivor named Isra, who was suffering from HIV. Not even kidding, that's the literal description I wrote. The blog served as a haven where she would actually talk about being with HIV, living with it, and other people with HIV also came in and talked to her about it. But in reality, the blog was actually started because she wanted to justify her high school fanfiction in which Alexander Hamilton was in the middle of the AIDS crisis and also was living with HIV. Not even kidding, that's literally why it started. There's so much more to the story, and I believe there are also videos about it, so check it out if you really want to know. Trilizard is a Tumblr user infamous for his harassment and hate speech. Out of seemingly nowhere, one day he was ranting about incels and women and stuff, and then another user, snooping as usual I see, yes, the same guy I mentioned in the previous segment, simply replied in Kung Pao Penis. This was such an absurd comment that added nothing, yet somehow worked to tear down the hate speech and made everyone confused. At that point, people began to bully Trilizard to the point where all of his replies to anything were either K or the term Kung Pao Penis. After that, the meme kinda took a format of itself and often paired up with Bernie Sanders. Regardless, it's a really funny situation, and I really can't believe anyone could begin to harass other people on Tumblr. It's Tumblr for the sake. Regardless, I think this is really funny, and I'm glad it was included here. By My Silence is talking about user Communism Kills, which had a feature on her Patreon where you could pay her to effectively stop posting for a period of time depending on the amount of the donation. This was hilarious to everyone and began the meme format By My Silence permanently. The Homestuck Sharpie Bath refers to a widely known Tumblr story where a girl found out a Homestuck cosplayer she shared a hotel room with tried to take a bath with alcohol and Sharpies in order to paint her skin gray and look similar to the character she cosplayed as. Some people say it's fake, while others argue that it's plausible given the community that it stems from. Regardless, it's widely known as one of the weirdest stories from the now infamous Homestuck fandom. Ooh, finally at the last segment. Karen Flowerkin was a user who pretended to can as a flower and became viral after publishing this post arguing that having houseplants was slavery. In reality, the user behind it is a Republican who was trolling Tumblr in an attempt to portray progressive people as SJWs and get triggered over everything. It's really funny if you're not taking it seriously because they do act like this all the time, to the point where it's just easy to make fun of. Jake the Cosplay Elitist refers to a very old user who argued that people shouldn't cosplay as characters that didn't match their given body shape, and basically just gate-kept fans for doing what they wanted. What made this even funnier is the fact that he was talking about Homestuck characters, which don't have a canon body shape. YMCA Don't Click C refers to a fairly old Tumblr thread where user YMC and A attempted to form the letters of the famous Village People song. After it became viral, people realized the blog with the letter C was a porn blog, which made the others caption it as Don't Click C. After that, users began clicking on C because of how suspicious it is, and everyone was disturbed. This is why it's called the YMCA Don't Click C post. Amigo Otaku is a user that is widely known because of how much they harass and threaten other people, mostly through Anon asks, after researching a little bit, people found out that a mega otaku was impersonating a mentally ill teenager when in reality she's a 35-year-old woman, I think. As usual, there's more to the story, but don't look into it unless you're comfortable with reading a lot of death threats and suicide baitings. I myself am not comfortable with it, which is why I didn't research on it further, so I'm not including a further discussion on this in an attempt to not make anyone and myself triggered. Lastly, finally, Tumblr Sexy Man Dating Sim refers to an alleged video game where you could date various Tumblr sexy men. These subjects, for the people that don't know, refer to characters from a specific franchise where a large collective of Tumblr seems to obsess over. Tumblr sexy men can vary from characters such as Alistair the Radio Demon and Bill Cipher to more obscure ones like John F. Kennedy and the Geico Gecko. Apparently someone tried to make a dating sim out of it, but I never saw it and I never heard about it, so I don't know. As much fun as I had researching this and making fun of certain fandoms and users, I do want to make sure that no one goes out of their way to harass anyone involved in these stories. As much as Tumblr loves to make fun of Tumblr, the platform itself seems to be doing okay nowadays in comparison to others, and you can find the community where not everything is done with discourse and a cesspit of foolish garbage. I grew up on Tumblr, so I very much have certain posts and fandoms dear to my heart, and I myself have a Tumblr account that is coming up on its 4th year now, and also a defunct blog from 2011 that I look at sometimes. I also want to give a huge shout out to lots of YouTubers who technically helped me by putting out videos on this. People such as Strange Eon, Sarah Said, EC's Eldina Doublecast, and also the user heritage post on Tumblr for the giant investigation into the Opa homeless style that honestly gave me a lot of motivation to actually research the topics for this video. Lastly, I want to point anyone that made it to the end of this video to my Portal series. Yes, I'm playing a game that is several years old and, not surprisingly, the algorithm isn't really helping, so if you really like my voice and maybe you like my personality, check that out if you got time. That's everything I wanted to say for this video. I will see y'all next time where I'll be discussing why Twitter is reinventing itself as Tumblr. Good night.